Welcome to this presentation on writing a great research paper. My name is Carol Dial. I'm the librarian at Augusta Tech at the Thompson Campus Library. In this presentation, we'll discuss choosing a topic, which includes identifying research questions and keywords, locating information, how to find good research sources, evaluating and analyzing those sources, and then organizing and using the information. The first step is to understand your assignment. Look at the assignment to identify the amount of pages or words required, the style of writing, whether it's MLA or APA, the number and type of sources, whether scholarly, journals, books, electronic resources, and if there's an age limitation like within 5 or 10 years. When is the paper due? This will give you an idea of how long you have to work on the paper. The idea of writing a research paper may seem overwhelming, but remember the Chinese proverb, the longest journey begins with the first step. This is true for writing research papers. Don't let it overwhelm you. Just take it one step at a time. Not sure where to start and how to pick a topic? Try starting with the research guides on the web page for your major. Research guides are designed to help you find information specifically in a subject area. It will give you the best databases to use for your subject and refer you to books and websites that might be helpful. An example of a topic in a field would be like if you're majoring in education, you might want to look at positive discipline, or if you're in the paralegal program, you might want to look at a court case. Still can't think of a topic? Look at ideas skimming through your textbook or news sources like newspapers and magazines or hot topic databases. Remember that an argumentative paper needs to have a controversial issue. So what type of paper are you writing? If it's an informational paper, you will just give historic facts about a topic. This is the Issues and Controversial website. As you can see, this is the recent controversies at the top of the screen, and you can page through to see what those are and maybe choose one of those. Also, there are hundreds more to pick from, and they are arranged by subjects or from A to Z. So if you knew what you wanted, say we want to do global warming, so we go down to G and we can do global warming. First, you'll see that there's a blurb about the issue, a little overview. This one has a video, so if you click the link, it's going to show you this video plus information. And there's your citation, which is always important to have. They cited in MLA but not APA, and they do Chicago style. These are the pro and con issues, question, and then what their opposers say and the supporters say. So you go down these and look through them, and this would be a great way to narrow your topic. Maybe you want to talk about fracking under global warming. So there's your issues again, and then it's going to have a general overview of this. And this is research that's been brought together and written for you to make it more concise and more understandable, almost like an encyclopedia article. And there's a graphic that you might want to use, especially if you're doing research for a speech. These can make points a lot more clearer to your audience. Back to your home screen on Issues and Controversies, you can also look by subject, and so it would have them grouped together by topics. Back to our presentation. How do you pick or choose a good topic? Remember that you need to pick something that's debatable, other points of view exist. If it's credible, does it have evidence to support your topic? And is it significant enough to have had research done on it, or an outcome is important enough to be recorded in the newspapers? Develop a research question. Think about the questions such as why or how, what if, or should. The 5 W's also are good. Who, what, when, where, why. Also, so what? Why is the topic important? And remember to avoid questions that can be answered with a yes or a no. Research papers need a strong focus. So how do you go from a broad topic to a focused research topic? One way is to use these 4 categories or 4 questions. Time. What time period are you going to focus on? Are you going to talk about the Middle Ages, which would be an historic period, or are you going to talk about a developmental stage like for children? Location, whether it is international, European, American, state, local. Category, the group of people. So these would be groups of similar theories or even a particular species of animals. Issues, what point of view or issue do you want to focus on? And now I have two examples. In this example, I'm going to use the 4 questions to move from the broad topic of global warming to the narrow topic of impact of ocean acidity, that's my issue, on shrimp, which is my category, in or near Georgia, which is my location, over the past 10 years. So this is my time. Or, in this example, we're going to talk about the strategies for political office by politicians. To narrow this topic, I chose the location of U.S., the success of U.S. presidential candidates was my category, who used scare tactics to garner support, which is my issue, and during the 58th American presidential election is my time. Just like you can have a topic that is too broad, you can also have one that is too narrow and it's not pulling the results that you need when you pull research. So you're not finding enough information, you explore related issues, or you can compare and contrast the topic with another topic, or choose a topic that's not too recent. You can expand it by time period, or you could expand it by location, or consider comparing it to a different group or of the same topic. Now that we have your topic and some keywords, let's switch gears and talk a little about research. Use Google and Wikipedia for general information on your topic. Look for keywords, issues, current news, and opinions. Remember, everything you read on the internet isn't true. There might not be authorities. It's hard to narrow your results. Databases, however, will have scholarly content. They are easy to index and filter by year or geographical area and can be filtered by peer review. What does peer review mean? When we say a topic has been peer reviewed, what does peer review mean? Well, there's steps to become peer reviewed. An article is written and submitted to an editor of a journal or a book, and the editor sends it to other scholars in the field to be reviewed for quality. Those review the materials and then tell the editor whether it's good enough to be published or if it needs revision. The editor tells the author whether his paper has been accepted or not. When you are online, it's important to learn how to decipher whether you're getting good information. Digital literacy is an important life skill. There's a plethora of information, but how do you evaluate it? Anyone can write a blog or create a website. It's important to know how to evaluate online sources and their content. The CRAP test is a way to learn how to evaluate digital content. The test looks at 5 major criteria. Timeliness, the date of the web page, has it been updated? Relevance, is it important to your needs? Who is the intended audience? Authority, who's the author? Is he qualified to write on this topic? Accuracy, is it a reliable information? Is there evidence to support it? Does the language or tone seem biased or free of emotion? What does the URL reveal? .edu and .gov are your best bets because they're usually written by educators for EDU, or .gov is written from government agencies. The purpose of the article, whether it's meant to inform you, to teach you, to sell you something, to entertain you, or to persuade you. What is the point of view? Is it objective and impartial, or is it fact, opinion, or propaganda? It's important to notice the difference between scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles and a magazine. Magazine or popular articles are written by reporters for the general public. They have very general vocabulary and are written for anyone to understand, and they're usually a summation of other people's research. Where scholarly articles are written by scholars for scholars, so they use academic or formal language, and they usually use scholarly or jargon-filled vocabulary. They have an abstract at the beginning of the article, and they oftentimes use charts and graphs to show their research and usually there are references at the end of the article. Let's talk a minute about how to find these research scholarly articles. This is the Galileo homepage. I got to it from the link on the library webpage. Cover bar here, and this is where you would type in the topic that you would like to do. You can also search by subject. As you can see, you can go into different areas like education or Georgia. You can browse by type if you know specifically that you want a newspaper article, or you want to browse an encyclopedia or find an image or a map. You could do it that way. Or if your instructor has told you a specific database that they want you to go through, you can go to databases A to Z and pick a letter, and then you can see the different ones that start with that letter. But the way I'm going to do it is go from the home page, and I'm going to type in global warming. So I typed it in and clicked the search button, and now I have 3 million results, and that's because it's such a big topic. So I'm still to the point where I'm finding keywords and writing down ideas. So I'm going to read the Start Your Research section. As you look down your results, you can see that I've pulled ebooks, videos, and academic journals. But what I want to call your attention to is the delimiters over here. And first I would suggest that you pick full text. Also, this is where you would click to find peer-reviewed articles. Peer-reviewed are only going to be journals, so you're not going to pull these ebooks or videos or all that. So before I do that, I want to show you that you can limit it by type, and here are some different types that you can limit it. If you wanted maps, or you wanted ebooks, or you want a trade publication or a magazine, you can pick those. Let's say I want to do just magazines. Let's update that. I can also choose it from over here. Now I have, if you see, it tells me these are periodicals, but I have links here that I can go to. Also, if your instructor has told you that they only want things within the past 5 years, as you can see, this is covering from 1943 to 2020. So let's take this down to cover from 2015. And it's going to update automatically when you put that date in. And now we've narrowed it down, and you see it's come way down to 38,000 hits. But we're still under periodicals, which is fine. If you're under this and you've looked at it and said, no, this is not what I want, the way you do take it off is you just click the X and you go back to all of them. The limitations are gone on that. So now we want to try, let's look at some academic journals and see what those look like. So when you hit the PDF, now that you're on the article, there's your abstract, your information, it's got these links. I wanted to bring your attention to these tools on the side. You can save this article to a Google Drive, or you can print it, or you can email it to yourself, or put it in a folder for yourself. You can also cite this link, and they also have a permalink. If you click a permalink, it's going to give you a link across the top, and you can copy that. And this is a link that you know will take you back to this article. Sometimes they're really hard to find again in Galileo. So you definitely want to keep up with this permalink, and the little permalink sign is here. Click this and the citations will pop up at the top of your screen, and then you scroll down to find which ones. There's the APA style, or if you need to do the MLA style, and you would just copy this, and then you can put this in your paper at the end in your citations. This is just a general overview of Galileo, and you can also find this information in a handout and online also. Look for the basic searching handout on the library webpage. It's important to organize your data. Mapping your topic is a helpful technique. This is a mind mapping software program called Bubbleless. This is an example of how to map your research. So you would put your main topic in the center, and then your points or your subtopics, related topics, you would put on the side and keep going this way until you develop the topic that you are wanting to work with. Another way is to organize your topic by using a flowchart. You would put your topic in the center. So to continue with our research we were talking about earlier, I decided to put Endangered Species Act as my topic, and then I'm going to talk about the history and what's currently being done, how did it get enacted, the penalties, how much does it cost, what happens if you break one of these rules, how does an animal come off the endangered list, what animals are on the endangered list, and the ecosystems that are covered. Again, remember to write down your keywords and where you found your information so that you can cite it later as you go along. To summarize the research process steps, first, you need to choose your topic by identifying your research questions and coming up with keywords that will help you find your information. Then you locate the information, finding good research sources, and then you evaluate and organize your information into your paper. This wraps up our presentation on developing a good research paper. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions or need help, please stop by the library.